Boom. Okay, I'm just gonna check it on YouTube. Make sure we're live.
That Joker on the thing?
Yeah,
What a legend. Still hate him.
facts.
Wish he could just go play with his horses or something and never come back to the NBA.
Okay, we are good.
Yes.
All right.
See us on there.
Welcome everybody. Whoever's rolling up right now. We got Andreas, Phoenix Suns fan. We're gonna get to that in a little bit, but just give us a little intro to yourself and your Suns
Y'all,
fandom.
Suns fandom, alright. So, I'm from Phoenix. Me and Mr. Neldon went to high school together out here in Arizona. Uh just been chilling. I was a huge D Wade fan growing up. Like the Suns were their home team, but we were always so bad. I was a little too young when Nash and Stoudemire were here to understand how good they were. And in 2018, when D Wade retired from the Heat, I just full on. We're all in on the Suns. My favorite player is gone, so now my new favorite player, Devin Booker. I have his jersey somewhere. I didn't want to put it on. I had to put up the nice practice warm up, but yeah, I'm excited. I mean, obviously we've seen sub 20 wins in a year, and we've seen plus 60. So it's definitely been an exciting adventure the last probably 4 years since the bubble. That was
Ooh.
when we got kind of put on the map. The 8-0 shocked everyone and went to the finals the following year with Mr. Monty, and then just the last 2 years have been a little disappointing. Made the big trade for KD. Still, in my opinion, I don't know if that was the correct move, but at the end of the day, he's a top 15 player of all time, and you have to put your trust in it. So, but yeah, I'm excited to be here. I thank you for having me. I know you're a
Yeah.
Clippers fan, so we might have some clashing thoughts, but it's all in good faith, and I can't wait to see you guys in the Western Conference Finals.
Oh yeah, dude, that matchup. We're gonna have to live stream that
That'd be
matchup.
nice.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun.
I would love that. I welcome that with
Yeah.
open arms. That'd be freaking awesome. But let's start with let's call this the Western Conference special. Okay, we're gonna talk a lot
Yeah.
about Suns, the Clippers, but mainly the team that's running the West right now, the Denver Nuggets. They are currently number one. I think OKC is back half a game. I looked at the standings
Mm-hmm.
earlier. The Nuggets kind of seemed a little relaxed coming into the season. Not crazy. Didn't really have a ton of injuries. They were healthy, but they just kind of like coasted. Um, is it wraps if they win the first seed?
I'm gonna say coming into the season, definitely championship hangover.
Yeah.
When you're superstar and when you have that Joker as your superstar, and the most important thing in his life isn't basketball, I think it is so. We haven't seen a situation like this. MVPs come in. He got his Finals MVP, and the first thing he said when he got interviewed, "Oh, it's time to go home. We did it." Like that to me, that's crazy. And just to see how good he is at basketball is insane. However, I do feel the rest of the team might have had a championship hangover, and now we're in the back half of the season. They're 9-1 in their last 10. I think they're definitely showing why they're the best team in basketball. When you have 15, man, I hate playing the Nuggets. They're just unstoppable. I know last time we were able to beat them, but Joker had an off night and he still almost had a triple double. Like
Yeah.
that's insane to say.
Absolutely.
I feel like it is going to be Denver as a 1 seed, probably representing the West again. They secure home court advantage throughout the playoffs. Jamal Murray is a star. The lights are not too bright for him. So when your second man can do that for you, I think that's huge. And then, man, hats off to their freaking front office for drafting and trading for and signing the correct pieces to surround their two superstars, because Aaron Gordon has been nothing but excellent for them. He does everything, all the dirty work that Joker doesn't do, getting rebounds, playing like excellent defense on any matchup that he needs to be. And then Jamal Murray is just a bucket, man. It is so frustrating watching him play sometimes where he'll hit 2 or 3 threes in a row.
Yeah.
Because he can go off.
Yeah.
He's nuclear. He can be a little inconsistent sometimes, but for the most part, when you have Joker as your main guy, it's okay to go a little inconsistent.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see, even the Suns, I just don't see them getting past a number 1 seed Nuggets that are on fire right now. Like, the Clippers have been great this year. Minnesota just lost Cat. Oklahoma's good. They're really good. However, they're young.
Mm-hmm.
They just haven't been there. So as far as the Western Conference goes, I don't think anyone necessarily wants to be the 8th seed coming out of the play-in. If you can avoid that, that'd be awesome, you know? But I feel like it's their Western Conference to lose right now, the way they've been playing.
Absolutely. I think that's a great way to cap off. I mean, bro, I just think of the matchups. I mean, we got Gobert, but did you see that clip of Shaq where he was like, Gobert's good, but show me that you shut down Jokic. And by shut down, I mean like less than 15 points. Like, that's a shutdown. We got to see Gobert do that. I don't even think Chet wants to have the thought of playing Jokic in a 7-game series. Chet's good. No, that's not even close.
Yep.
Nowhere near the same level of what you need. Yeah, like you said, the Nuggets are on fire. And I kind of have this like take of Aaron Gordon and Jokic are the real duo in terms of they play better together than Murray and Jokic do. That's how I view it. I mean, literally Jokic trademarked that post spin, flick it up, and then Gordon's there and just yam. Like that happens like 3 times a game. Every single time I watch, that happens all the time.
1000%.
And it's free. It's all day, every day.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And so then they got guys like MPJ, KCP. I thought the Bruce Brown letting him go was going to hurt them a lot more than it did. But then being in the 1 seed again, just, you know.
Bruce Brown was everything they needed last year to put the team together finally, because I feel like in 2021 we played them injured, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we were able to sweep them, yes. However, Jamal Murray's in that series, it's going to get a hell of a lot harder. I think at that time and in that moment, we were still going to probably pull through because Devin Booker was on a historic playoff run.
Mm-hmm.
But fast forwarding, man, they just have such a complete team with depth and their role. I think the most important thing, too, is everyone has bought into Mike Malone and how their role is shaped out in the offense. You know that Joker's going to bring up the ball every time. If it's not Joker, it's Jamal. And even then, high post, handoff to Nurk, and then everyone just starts running around everybody, you know?
Yep.
He does this great job of turning. He's huge, so he just turns his head to survey the entire thing. Unbelievable passer for his size, too. Yeah. I think, I like you said, the freaking lobs with Aaron Gordon, you just turn around and he's just there. And he's uber athletic. He can jump from outside the paint, still get that. And then when that's not working, go back to the 2-man game with Joker and Jamal, where Jamal just runs around him. So, man, they are tough for sure. And like you said, matchups wise, there's just, like you said, Gobert, prove it. Go out and prove it. Beat Joker, shut him down. Because ultimately, I feel like when the offense isn't flowing through them, they're very vulnerable. Even like, I don't know. I love Nurk the way he's been playing, his size, but I don't see a world where in 7 games he stops him four times. You know,
which you have to do.
Exactly. It's not. Oh, you shut him down for two games
and you steal a couple. It's got to be all 4.
Yeah. It's got to be all 4. It's got to be, you got to get one on the road. Like, it's just that tough of a matchup for him. And he's the best player in the NBA. I'm not afraid to say it.
Yeah.
It sucks when we play him. We see him 3 or 4 times a year, and then maybe 3 or maybe a 7-game series again in April or May. So it's theirs to lose for sure. I like their chances again of repeating, I think. Boston's playing great ball. However, I just have this thing against Jason Tatum where he is not that guy. And then you just force Jaylen Brown left. And then boom, you beat the Celtics, you know?
Yeah. Like
I
love
don't know.
Derek White, love Drew Holiday. They're not
Yeah.
they're not scoring. Love KP, they're not scoring for you.
Yeah. They are great, but show me KP stopping Joker for 4 games.
Yeah.
Show me Tatum taking over for 4 games. I just, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it's a little. I know one of the other topics was being an MVP as a 1 seed. Just to kind of touch on that, I feel like ever since Russell Westbrook won it, that's been kind of out the window.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just who's the best player in the NBA. Who's, you know, I feel like that title of most valuable has kind of gotten muddled.
Mm-hmm.
Because before Russell Westbrook, I think 1,000% Jason Tatum would win MVP.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
He's the best player on the best team.
And he's good.
Right?
He's very good.
And he's good.
Yeah.
He's a very good player. However, ever since Russell Westbrook won, it's not really about that anymore. It's not about leading your team to 60 plus wins. It's not about like anchoring a defense. It's not about being a true one and just, you know, go in and get it. And hey, it's 4th quarter, it's tied game.
Mm-hmm.
We need a closer, and you're that guy. It's not about that anymore. And I think that's kind of where that definition got muddled back in, when did he win it? 2017 or
2017.
Something like that. And because of that, I don't think Tatum, because I know there's a lot of talk about him saying he feels like he deserves it or he's the best player in the NBA, which he's not. He just isn't. He's not Joker.
No.
But yeah, I think Joker is on his way to his 3rd MVP. Love SGA, but I don't know. I feel like this is where that old definition comes in, because Denver's the best player on the best team, putting up the numbers that he is. So I just don't see a world where Joker doesn't get it. It would have been Embiid, right? It would have been Embiid if he didn't get hurt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, the next subject is MVP race and the 1 seed and how that. Yeah. And I just we'll get to that in a second. I just released a video about Luka and his chances, because it's in that video. It's pretty much mirrored. I mirrored him and Westbrook's thing, and it looks the exact same. But you know, competition is relative in different eras. You know, that was 8 years ago, 6, 7, 8 years ago, right? And so it's just different. Luka's averaging 34, almost 35 a game, but his team's here and blah 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 blah, all this stuff. Let's go back to Tatum for a second in that finals matchup, because I do believe that it actually will be the finals matchup. Boston having a 7, home court advantage of 7-game series is going to be monster, especially against a Western Conference team. Like, they have the number 1 seed in the NBA right now, and for those of you watching and you haven't seen my Jason Tatum video this is why I love YouTube, and this is why I literally am doing this, is because I spent hours on scripting and writing and researching and looking up stats, and then I just retain, and then maybe it makes it more fun. So to summarize that video, right? Jason Tatum, he's had woes in the playoffs. 25 points per game, 26 points per game, maybe 27, drop down and maybe back to 25. That's not the area you want to be at as a number 1 option on a title contender. You cannot be in that area. And like I said in that video, guys like Kawhi, Giannis, and Jokic up their game from like 28 points a game, whatever rebounds, whatever assists, to boom. I mean, Jokic literally shot, like last season when he won, teams that have won. I only did players that won the championship, not like, oh, he had a good playoff run. Like 2018 Braun went crazy. But Jokic 2023 last year, in the final, or in the playoffs, 30 points, 10 rebounds, almost 10 assists, 47% from 3, the whole playoffs, all through the finals. Like, that's upping it. 47% from 3.
Yeah.
And that's just a guy that Tatum can't do that. But this year is different. He's averaging a little bit less than normal, not 30. He's got more guys. You could talk about that. I understand that. I'm a Clippers fan, so Kawhi and PG have the same thing. They're both averaging around 24, 25, but when you need them to, they can pop up. If Tatum can actually ball out and up his stats and really take over some games, because I know a lot of the comments on that video were hating, Jason Tatum has the most points in an All-Star game. Jason Tatum has the most points in an elimination game ever. I'm like, okay, 1 game. He still has – he's gone to Eastern Conference Finals 4 times and lost 3 of those times. So
3 of them,
it's a series thing. I don't give a freaking crap about a game. Give me the series. That's what all the greats do. You got to win the whole series. Anyways,
Yep.
but I think for the Celtics against the Nuggets, that finals would be very interesting because it goes to 7 games, and you got to shut Yoke down. Then Yoke's got to go to Boston, and then do it there. And it's like that's not easy.
No.
And so
Not at all. And though I feel like the way the Celtics play, they're a very balanced team, and they love sharing the ball around. And the only way I see that kind of, happening is either they share the ball to a fault, they aren't, no one's stepping up, right? No one's taking the initiative, and I feel like that's where Tatum needs to come in and be the guy. Kawhi has been amazing. That has a huge reputation of being the playoff performer. Him, right? Jimmy Butler, notorious for not playing basketball before the All-Star break and when it's time to get in, So I don't know. It's just things like that where you need to be, if you're already the best player on your team, you need to be the player on your team,
Yep.
And what I will say about Boston and what I like this year is Drew Holiday.
Yep.
He has come in and totally changed their offense. KP has been great. Don't get me wrong. He stretches the floor. He does a lot. I just think Drew Holiday being a champion coming in with this squad is so good for them, because what it does too is allow Jaylen Brown to kind of relax more on defense. They're still a great defensive team, but Drew Holiday is getting the hard matchups, and Jason Tatum on the bigger guys is getting the hard matchups, right? So for him to come in, take this younger squad heading into their prime is going to be huge. I just don't think KP can shut down Joker in a 7-game series. I think if it goes to 7 and they have to go back to Boston, they have a better chance there.
Yeah.
However, you have to win your home game. You can't drop a home game and try to rely on winning in Denver, because winning in Denver is one of the hardest things to do in the NBA right now.
Yeah. So I think it's very interesting that the Nuggets are even going for the first seed, but that they need that, because we'll get into that later. We'll talk about MVP and then the Suns playing, and then we'll get really into the playoffs and the scope of the Western Conference. But yeah, dude, the West is tough. I'm looking at it right now, and I watched the Clippers Pelicans game last night. Clippers lost. Pelicans won the season series 3-1, which we needed to do, and that's a 4-5 matchup. And they are deep. The Pelicans are deep. We don't have to go on a whole discourse, but they're really freaking good.
I needed y'all to get that one.
Yeah.
As much as I don't like rooting for the Clippers, because we still
play. We'll get more into this about the playoff matchups, but yeah, I really needed you guys to pull through there.
That separation could have gone from, it was at 3.5 games. It could have gone to 4.5, but now it's only 2.
Yep.
So that was a really rough one. Who are your top 5 MVP candidate, the race? What's the race in your mind, and in what order?
I think the race. Okay, I know we have 1 month of basketball left. I think obviously, Joker is gonna end up taking it.
Yeah.
I just don't see a world where SGA plays basketball, elite enough basketball for him to take it over Joker, unless the Thunder go on a crazy run and take the 1 seed away from the Nuggets, and it's because of SGA's play. Maybe that's how he gets it. But I don't know. But right now, I have Joker, SGA. I probably have Luka over Giannis. So I'll do Luka at 3, Giannis at 4 for sure. And then I think by default, Jason Tatum gets that 5th spot.
Yeah.
He's not out of the conversation, but he's not also. I feel like he has 1 foot in the door, 1 foot out the door for Tatum. His team does a lot for him. He's still the best player on his team, but his team lifts him tremendously. Luka damn near triple-double, man. Let me tell you, as much as I hate Joker, Luka is Man, he's giving me nightmares. I hate playing him. He's a bad man though. He is really really freaking good, and I respect the heck out of him because that dude can ball. I don't like when we play him. However, he he's been that guy, man. He just gets it done. No one can speed him up. He's a slower player. No one can speed him up. He just plays his game. His dribble step back is deadly. It's given me nightmares of how I know it does take him a lot of shots sometimes to get to 35. However, I think that's just how Dallas plays. And I think an argument that Luka has for him is that Kyrie Irving is on his team and he's still doing this.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There's only one ball, right? There's
Mhm.
only one ball. And he's still out there getting, it says 34 right here, but 35 a night, 9 and 9. Nine rebounds, too, as a shooting guard is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
A playmaker. He makes the right passes. Giannis, they've been on a good tear lately. I like the Bucks. I feel like a Bucks Celtics Eastern Conference Finals or a Bucks Celtics second round, depending on how the seeds work, is gonna be a really really good series. Whenever you have Giannis, though, man, he's a dog. He's good. He's one of those players too that is built for the moment. He dropped 50 on us in an elimination game, right? Like, you just can't argue with that, dude. You really can't. He's a champion. He's proven champion, right? Who's gonna stop him on the Celtics? You know,
In the league.
now in the league, just it takes him 2 steps from half court to the bucket. It's annoying. That is so annoying.
Yep.
SGA, he's a bucket. He's super efficient, gets his spot. Not like super flashy play. He's kind of boring to watch if that's what you're in basketball for. His game's not super exciting, but he himself makes all the right decisions, all the right plays. And he's young. I mean, 25. It's a lot to look forward to, right?
Yeah.
I feel like him and Luka might be battling for a while. Joker's not old per se, but he's not 25 either.
Yep.
But again, I think just like the Western Conference is the Nuggets to lose, I feel like the MVP race it's Joker's race to lose right now. Maybe SGA makes the push. If the Mavericks were a little bit better, I think this could be handed to Luka. But dude, the West is just so tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
So tough. So I'm excited to see the movement. I'm also terrified to see the movement in the standings. I feel like the 9 and 10 seed, the Lakers and Warriors have been boxing for the last 2 months
Literally.
for that.
Yeah.
They've been going back and forth. I saw this super funny thread on Twitter of Laker and Warriors NBA Twitter just retweeting each other, retweet, and it's just like, how's it down there? How's it down there?
Yeah.
Like, snatched it back, and I'm like, I mean, y'all know you guys have to see each other, right? You have to see each other at least one more time in April, and it's gonna be exciting. But it's Joker's race to lose. SGA, if he plays extremely beautiful basketball for a month and takes away the 1 seed, it's hard to argue not to give it to him.
Yeah.
And if Luka was a little bit better, his team was a little bit better, I think they'd hand him that trophy.
Yeah. I want to bounce back off what you said about losing the MVP, because I made that Luka video, and at the very end of it, I said it's SGA. But for you guys that don't understand how long it takes to research, script, like record, and then edit a video, by the time that video was released, that was outdated because the Nuggets had taken the 1st seed. So it literally, I think it matters. If SGA gets the 1st seed, that's a huge deal. I don't know if that's like a lock for MVP, but then if Jokic gets the 1st seed, it's just such an important thing right now. And I like what Luka's doing. He's been playing amazing. Don't think he's gonna get the MVP. Like, what case does he have over those 2 guys? It's just hard to see what he can do more. It's just winning. I do like the additions they made though on the trade deadline. Like, I thought it was phenomenal.
Getting PJ Washington and
Daniel Gafford.
Yeah, Grafford. I wanted Grafford, dude. I was hoping that the Suns would make a move for center because we're giving terrorist minutes to Drew Eubanks at
Yeah,
moments, and I'm just like, Frank Vogel. I know you love this dude, but goodness gracious, he can't do anything. He
yeah,
dunks. That's awesome. He dunks, but we need defense when Nurk is not out there.
yep,
Um, but for Dallas to go out and get that and make them a better team, it was a little not like it was like frightening because I'm like, okay, we're gonna have to see them too.
yep,
As of right now, we're still in the play-in and we play them
yeah,
for one game. Suns and Mavericks games are always blowouts. They are never close except for the KD one when he played them last year for
yeah,
the first time. That was one of the only close games. Other than that, they blew us out the first time on Christmas. We blew them
yep,
out at their house, and then they blew us out again
yeah,
most recently. So I will say, and this is the scary part, if we face Dallas and they beat us and we go to that 8th seed game and we can beat the Warriors and Lakers, I'm not concerned about them, but it's I don't know. I feel like we're miles ahead of them as a team
yeah.
that it wouldn't matter because we'd see Denver in the first round as an 8th seed.
It's just not good look. It's just not good look.
No.
You know, that's just
No.
you got to play either LeBron or Steph Curry, which
Exactly.
why, and then you win that and it's like, okay, cool, now we got to play Jokic in the first round. That's freaking fire.
Exactly.
So that I cannot wait. I always love Suns Mavericks games. It's just awesome. So
They're rowdy, they're competitive. They in the third quarter, you can tell who's going to win the game because it's already, plus 20.
Chris Paul cuts the lead down to 46 or something.
Chris Paul, huge 3 to cut the lead to 42. Man, that game haunts me, bro. I wish I could erase that from my memory.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
But
I've had my fair share of those.
but yeah. This Western Conference race though is really exciting to me. I'm looking forward to the next month of basketball because of it.
Yeah. Okay, let's expand a little bit. We're already
let's dive into
talking about the Suns play-in, but like,
Yeah.
what does we talked about the plan already? What does a road to the finals look like for the Phoenix Suns? Everything on the standings as it is right now. Let's just play with that scenario.
Suns Oklahoma City in the first round. This is excluding the play-in. This is meaning the Lakers and Warriors lose their respective matchups, and Dallas finishes behind us at 8. We would see OKC. We've played OKC, and they have definitely had their way with us. However, in those games, Nurk and Chet will be kind of what we'd look at, right?
Mm-hmm.
Chet, strong, tall, could stretch the floor pretty well. However, Nurk is huge. Rebounds really well. He had 31 rebounds the last time we played OKC.
Yep.
Franchise record, super dope. And I feel like because of that, we would match up a little bit better than people would think.
Mm-hmm.
The Thunder, though, they play harassing defense. They are fast and young and high motor, high energy, cause a lot of turnovers, and that is one of Phoenix's huge sore spots right now. That's why we've been losing games we shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we lose leads that we shouldn't, and that's why we play like absolute crap in the fourth quarter, is because of turnovers. And part of that is the style of play that we've been doing. So the road to the finals means switching that up. It means Vogel needs to run more plays for Grayson Allen, for Nurk, for anybody that's not wearing the jersey 1 or the jersey 35.
Mm-hmm.
Because we love to do this thing in the third quarter where we post up with KD and let the shot clock run all the way down for him to turn around. We love to do it with Book too. He hits on the left or right elbow, dribbles. Oh, there's 5 seconds left. I need to put up a Kobe shot. Makes them. Sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes he does. But that's not the point. We can't rely on that to beat a team as fast as the Thunder would be, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're just too good. SGA gets to his spots too much, and they would make us pay. They have a great 3-point shot. My goodness, it would be hard to compete with that. threes over twos as
Oh, yeah.
as the movement went with Mike D'Antoni a few years ago. But let's just say that our experience in the playoffs, right? We beat them in 7, we beat them in 6, right?
Hmm.
Our experience lets us through. So as the 7th seed, I'm just gonna go with higher seed beats their teams.
Yeah.
Just gonna go with that right now. That means Denver would beat Dallas, and by a miracle, we would beat the Thunder. So we'd be the only underdog moving on because your Clippers would have beaten the Pelicans, and the Timberwolves would have beaten the Kings. So that means
So you play the 3-6
we
matchup?
we would get the winner of the 3-6, which would be the Timberwolves.
Oof.
I already said I like our matchup against the Timberwolves without Cat.
Ah,
Gobert, great defender. Don't have anything to say. However, offensively doesn't offer what Cat does. You know,
Yeah.
Cat can stretch the floor. He's super athletic. He can move. He beats bigger guys because of that athleticism. And with him being out is so big. Anthony Edwards, dog. He is shaping into being that guy. I
Yeah.
think next year, or even the year after, he could have a serious run at what SGA is doing right now, right?
yeah.
He's being that guy. Obviously, no one expected the Timberwolves to be as good as they had been. They were the 1 seed for a while, dropped a few games, but it's coming together, right? All of it's coming together. They have Jaden McDaniels, great defender, probably one of the best. If I could, I'd be okay with labeling him the best defender as a wing. And so we'd see trying to slow Edwards down and trying to slow it's Mike Conley at point guard, you know, how he runs the offense, disrupting that. And how we'd beat them is just attacking Gobert, maybe trying to get him to foul trouble because he's their only competent big.
Yep.
As soon as they lose him, you know, there's no Cat there to supplement fouls, right? You're just going straight at him. D-Book and Kevin Durant are great at getting to the line. Brad Beal has shown at points in the season that he can run the second unit properly. Be it Drew Eubanks as the center. Bol Bol has gotten some weird minutes. I'm not too sure what Vogel is using Bol Bol for. I love him. He's a fan favorite. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
That guy is fun to watch. However, sometimes just doesn't gel, and it's just weird. But using Brad Beal with the second unit, I think would be huge because I feel as if the Suns, you know, we're built top heavy, right, by design, and our depth can kind of hurt us sometimes. But having 3 superstars like that, it allows us to stagger minutes while one of them is always in the game. And I have full faith in Devin Booker being our point guard, playmaking. He's shown he could do it. It's not really that. It's more of when Brad Beal is the guy on the court.
Yeah.
So slowing down Ant-Man and attacking Gobert would probably see us through to the Western Conference Finals, right?
Yep.
Jaden McDaniels, he can switch on to Book, he can switch on to KD, but after that, you know, whoever he's not guarding is just gonna have to try to, you know, eat as much as they can before, you know, who has the hot hand, basically.
Yeah. I like the Suns, a healthy Suns team. Oh, here's why. The fact you have Kevin Durant is a huge deal, massive deal. I like the healthy Suns, not in the aspect that everybody else likes the healthy Suns. I like the healthy Suns because you gave up so much depth to get these superstars, so I want you guys to be healthy so Book and Beal can be on the court. But KD needs to be your guy. KD has done this multiple times. 2 championships, been in the finals a couple times, right? He's that dude. He's had amazing playoff runs by himself. He can do that. His game translates well to his age, and it doesn't matter. He's
one of those guys. He's a Kawhi. He's a Jimmy Butler. He's a Joker. He just elevates in the playoffs.
And people don't like that. People don't want to accept that. Oh, he can't, but dude, it is Kevin Durant.
Yeah,
Like
top 15 player.
100%.
Yeah.
I had a video where I was entertaining the idea of putting him top 10, but it came at the cost of Tim Duncan. So I'm still on the fence about that.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a hard one. I was like, Tim Duncan only has 3 Finals MVPs. I was reaching, bro.
Yeah.
But it's a hard one. But KD, bro,
Yeah.
he's that difference maker, and he still can do that. Anybody
Yeah.
who is, denying that is coping, 100%. Like,
Oh, yeah.
so I really think that that's a thing. And then you beat Minnesota, which means you wouldn't. Here's the thing: out of the top 4 teams right now in the West, because that's pretty much going to be locked in. I'm just going to knock on wood because Pelicans
Yeah.
are playing good, Clippers are not playing so good. Who do you want to face the least? Like rank them in terms of like I don't want to play
And of the top 4,
of the top 4.
the team obviously we don't want to see is the Nuggets
Obviously.
until we have to,
Yep.
right? Next would be the Clippers
Mm-hmm.
because of they have good experience, and as much as I hate it, I think you guys are due one. The last few years we've seen you guys, and we've gotten by because your 1 and 2 have been hurt, right?
Yep.
I feel like your team, everyone is the same way. They're like Denver, buying into their roles. They like the vision. And Kawhi he just transcends the playoffs. He's him, Obviously you got to worry about playoff P sometimes and the meme and side of the backboard.
The reality.
I just don't think he is as much of a question mark this year as he has been in last year, just considering how your team has been playing. I don't see a vintage Paul George like pooper
Yeah.
playoff series.
It's gonna be pretty hard to do that. Yeah.
I feel like he'll be he'll be like above averages that he is right now. He'll step up to the moment.
Yeah.
Especially he has a lot to prove still, I feel like. He went to the Clippers 5 years ago already, which is crazy to say, but he's been there a minute. He's played with Kawhi this time. They have that chemistry. They're really freaking good. So I think I would say the Nuggets, the Clippers, the Thunder, and then the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
I would want to see the Timberwolves most. After that, the Thunder. After that, the Clippers, and then avoid the Nuggets until the final Western Conference final series. But here's I'm gonna throw some advanced stats at you.
Oh please, I eat
Okay.
these.
Best lineup. One of the best lineups in the NBA is Kevin Durant, Brad Beal, Yusuf Nurk, Book, and Grayson Allen.
Yeah, believe that. I believe that.
One of the things that I cope with at night is the fact that they've only played 300 minutes together this season. It hurts so much to see the potential. But offensive rating 128.3, defensive rating 116.6. That gives me a net of 11.7. That is really hard to argue with.
Yeah.
Obviously we talked about injuries and fourth quarter blunders for the Suns, right?
Yep.
That's just been our kryptonite. We can't play, I think I watched a video of how the Suns are statistically like one of the worst teams ever by offensive defensive rating in the NBA. Like in NBA history, the fourth quarter Phoenix Suns are damn near the worst team ever.
Oof.
It hurts to say that 12 minutes of basketball just defines our season right now.
Yeah.
But it's just it is what it is, right? It just you kind of have to roll with it. If we limp into the playoffs, hopefully we'll be healthy, but it's all about making it. But that lineup, that five right there, you have Grayson Allen, who is second right now in the whole NBA in true shooting percentage at 69.1%. Some other players that are in there are exclusively centers, right? So you have a 3-and-D guy who is making what's his 3-point percent? I think he's leading the NBA or close to it. Anyway, that lineup right there is just it's shown how deadly it can be because of the spacing. if you give the ball to KD and have everybody around him, he's so good at making that pass or making that play or getting it into the hands of the right person. Right now, Grayson Allen's shooting 47.5% from three.
Yeah.
on the season.
Wow.
That is ridiculous. He's had a few eight plus 3-pointer games for us.
Volume.
Just showing up.
Great volume. Yeah.
And I think one of the big things about him is that he attacks the basket as well. He's not standing waiting for a three.
Yeah.
He moves. He's strong. He's big. He uses his size efficiently to get to the right shot. And I think Grayson Allen could be a real game changer for us right here for the Nuggets. I think this is where the Nuggets have shown so much depth, right? They're good all and throughout. I am optimistic that we would give them a series. I do think the Nuggets would still edge us out just because Joker's not gonna have 4 bad games, right?
Very hard to
He's
believe.
just-
Yeah.
I just don't see it happening. Nurk, as good as he is, he got in foul trouble the last time we beat the Nuggets. So, he got to 6
Yeah.
and we blew our 10-point lead in the 4th.
Yep.
Shocker. And we're on the road. No Booker, and KD has a stinker in the 4th, except for the game-tying 3 to send it to overtime. That's where I have confidence in, like you said, he transcends the playoffs,
Yep.
He's shooting 0 for 6 in the 4th and then hits a game-tying needing 3. Just steps up, just him. I feel like in that series, if Joker, let's just say Joker has 2 bad games, I still think that's not plausible. However, for sake of argument, let's just say Nurk holds him to 20, 10, and let's just say they're not making their shots that night, 5 or whatever. Those 2 games, I'm gonna give us the edge, so we'll have their 2. I feel like they're not gonna lose at home. So let's just rewind the clocks back to a year ago when we're 2-2 heading to Game 5. The difference here is we don't have DeAndre Ayton not showing any effort. We don't have a limping Chris Paul, and we have a little bit of depth. Grayson Allen is going to be the difference maker in this one for us, just because he's going to play his role so beautifully with getting the open shots, taking the open shots. I think that's really important too. Early in their season, Eric Gordon complained about not getting his touches. He's a little frustrated with his role in the offense, right? And then I watched the next 5 games, and he has open shots, and he's giving them up because he's not confident in taking them.
Yep.
Grayson Allen does not have that problem, and I think it's big. So I think if Grayson Allen can have 2 games outside of the bad Joker games, 2 games outside of the bad Joker games where he puts in probably 4 or 5 3-pointers.
Yeah.
And a lot of people would say that, that's reaching. That's not it. He does that pretty consistently, actually. He shoots up 47.5% from 3. He shoots a lot of threes, and he takes a lot of shots, driving, dishing out. But to say that 4 or 5 threes isn't plausible for Grayson Allen just would tell me that you probably aren't watching the games.
Yeah.
So outside of the 2 bad Joker games, that's the key, I feel like, of getting past the Nuggets. And we would just need KD and Booker to play at the level that they've been playing at when fully healthy.
Yeah.
So in the grand scheme of things, you see how much I'm asking for, right?
Yeah.
It's just so much. It is just so much. So I'm optimistic, I'll go into it being real. If the series is tied, last year I gave myself false hope because Booker had to shoot 80% from the field for 2 straight games to
Literally.
give us a chance. It hurt to see that because in Game 5, I felt going to Game 5 it was going to be competitive, and it wasn't. Going to Game 6, I thought it was going to be competitive, and it wasn't. So, changing the tides, I feel like if by some way, somehow, we go into the playoffs with a healthy team and our starting 5 plus our 2 off the bench in probably either a Kogi and Royce O'Neal,
Yeah.
or
Big pickup, by the way. Love Royce.
yeah, and Royce O'Neal and or Terrace Drew Eubanks, that we have some sort of opportunity to make some noise. And I don't know. I have a hard time counting out Devin Booker and Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
I think anyone could agree with that. Booker, in his 3-year playoff career, has shown flashes of greatness, right? Unfortunately, he does have this now reputation of stinking it up in elimination games.
Yeah.
And it's a little frustrating just because that's not the player he is, right? Against the Bucks, he was amazing, and then Giannis just went crazy for 50.
Yep.
Mavericks, and that is an actual stain on his resume. Absolutely, I'm not denying that at all. Crap the bed, wasn't there, didn't show up.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Luka got his. No matter how rowdy that playoff series was, and then last year didn't show up for Game 6. So that's my take on how we would get to the finals. And after doing all of that, we are greeted with the amazing privilege of playing the Boston Celtics. Oh
yeah,
geez.
this Western Conference, it has. I had a segment in that Tatum video talking about the Western Conference and who they face and blah 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 all this stuff. It is historically very very good. This year is an absolute bloodbath. It is going to be messy. It's going to be dirty. It's going to be grimy. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, I at one point I feel like the top 4 were locked in, and then like you said, the Clippers and the Pelicans have just been up and down. So like even 4 through, it looks like 4 through, I think we'll stretch it to the Mavs, 4 through 8 right now, barring different games, different matchups, could definitely switch up.
Yeah.
As far as the Suns go, and what I can speak on is we have a 5-game stretch where we're on the road, which is something to look at. Then we have a 4-game stretch on the road. And then to close out the season, we have 3 away games, which is kind of scary. But on top of that, we play the Nuggets away one more time. And then the big kicker is we play the Pelicans 2 more times.
Ooh.
Home and away.
Yeah.
And then we play you guys on a back-to-back, home and away. So that's 4 games right there that can swing it. And then just to add, we play the Kings one more time on the road. That's 5. That's a 5-game switch right there, right?
Yeah.
Looking at our schedule right now, and this is me in a good mood because we beat a team that we should have beat last night, and it was really awesome to see. Where are you? Phoenix Suns. So we have Milwaukee up next. I'm gonna chalk that up as an L. Unfortunately, we're on the road. Milwaukee's playing outstanding. Giannis is damn near unstoppable.
Yep.
But so we're just not gonna show my schedule. That's awesome. Okay. Our stretch coming up is Milwaukee. So I'm gonna chalk that up as an L. I'm gonna break this down for you. Philly after that.
Ooh.
Without Embiid at home.
That's a W.
In Phoenix.
Yeah.
I like our chances there. Then we have the Hawks. We had this really cool joke where we lost to the Hawks for whatever reason the last time we played them. But I think if we beat Philly, beat Atlanta, that's 2 games. That's good. That's great. The nice kicker about that is we play San Antonio 2 times in a row.
Ooh, get revenge.
San Antonio beat us back to back in the beginning of the year.
Yeah, that was
out of nowhere.
Great. That was crazy.
Yeah, and one of the games we were leading and they came back, and then the other game they were just leading. We came back and then they beat us at the end.
Yeah,
we don't know how to finish games, but we play San Antonio. So just that stretch alone, that's a 4-game win streak. Absolutely massive. Because if we look at New Orleans in that same amount of time, right? they are also looking at a good amount of W's on their schedule. They have Portland, Brooklyn, Orlando, and Miami in that same stretch.
Mm.
Man, that's tough for us. That is like, you know, we have to rely on. Oh, after Miami, they get Detroit too.
That's
You think Cade Cunningham will show up that night?
That'd be
Probably
crazy.
not. Yeah, that'd be awesome. And then just heading down the stretch after that, we play Nuggets after our hopeful 4-game win streak in Denver. It'll be competitive. At the end of the day, I'm going to give it to Joker.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a stinker like he did last game. Then we get the pleasure of playing Oklahoma City after that in Oklahoma. I think it'll be a good test, though. That game will be a really good test to see where we're at. Hopefully we're discounting injuries at this point. We're a healthy team. Booker's back from his ankle injury. Looks like he's good. Our bench, we're just missing Jo right now, and he's huge. He's a great defender, and we would need him big time against SGA. Not even to slow him down. I still think SGA gets his 30 regardless of who's guarding him.
Yeah.
But if it takes him 25 shots to get it, that's beautiful. We'll take that. We'll take 25 shots to get 30. That's really inefficient. And then we have another test against New Orleans right after that. So it is looking a little weird. I looked this up for our strength of schedule. The remaining opponents have a 54.9 win percentage.
Oof.
We have 16 games, or I think I counted it with Charlotte in, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we have 16 games. I counted it without Charlotte. 54.9% winning percentage, which is
that's a
tough,
rough
man.
one. That's extremely.
Yeah,
because I know the Clippers. I looked at ours. We have. I mean, dude, I've literally been stalking the Thunder's record, the T-Wolves record, the Nuggets record. I've been watching like a hawk, and we have the hardest schedule out of those guys. And our opponent's strength schedule is like 50, I think, 0.513, something like that. So above 500 teams, but not to the level of like really good 500 teams like y'all. Like that's and y'all are down, but man,
it's gonna be a gauntlet. I think so. Like right now, we're 7th in the NBA for 3-point percentage. We're 9th for offensive rating, and then the kickers were 13th in defensive rating.
Okay, yeah.
So we're in the top half of the league for sure, and we're a top 10 offense. As expected, though, we had to be. But our net rating is only a top 10 net rating of 2.5. That's not ideal for a team with championship aspirations, I will say. I think the Celtics are plus 10 net rating right now because they're a really good defense and they have a really good offense.
Yeah.
But the key to that, just to wrap all this up, is meeting the Celtics in the finals, right? I think me and you are pretty okay to say that the Celtics will get through the East.
Yeah. Hard. That's another topic for another day, but yeah.
Yeah. But just we meet them in the finals. I think Katie's better than Jason Tatum at any point ever.
Yeah.
That it'll be fun to watch for sure. And the Celtics have a great defense. Don't get me wrong, we're not gonna Millie rock them, but given the fact that we went through a gauntlet of Minnesota, Oklahoma, and Denver, there's got to be a confidence and that extra desire. Like we just beat the team that wiped the floor on our home court last year to get here. It's that mentality and that edge that you get from getting your revenge, right? I'm sure in 2 months' time I will be really upset that we lost in 6 to whoever, but we're there. We're in the moment. I think we just forced Jaylen Brown left and he passes away and we're good. And we just have to try to get Drew Holiday flustered on defense.
Yeah.
And we got to make Jaylen Brown beat us on defense. We got to make Jaylen Brown beat us on offense as well. Jason Tatum is that big question mark, right? Is this the year his playoff reputation, It's not.
literally. Can he do it? Is he
Can
going
he
to
be
do
the
it?
guy? He has the pieces. He has everybody around him to make it as if he could. We just lost to the Celtics 2 times. Um, the one where we were home, we were making it very competitive. We came back, we made it a game, and then we just couldn't finish the job. Shocker! Wow, fourth quarter. Who would have thought? This past game on Thursday, they just beat us. They were just the better team that night, and they were home. And then for that game, Devin Booker only had 23 as the leading scorer, so that can't happen either.
Yeah.
The game, the it's got to elevate, right? But yeah, look, I'm excited for this stretch. I think it's going to be fun. Even the Clippers versus the Suns is going to be super important. You know,
Ooh.
we're not trying to take your spot per se, but we're not trying to fall to 8.
And we're not trying to fall to not have home court advantage against the 4 seed.
Exactly. You guys are just as important to beat it. Y'all beat us on the last time we played, which was that was in Christmas, wasn't it?
No, that
No,
was.
it's back in January. It's back in
Yeah.
January. Dang, we haven't seen you guys in
I know.
gonna be 3 months at that point. That's crazy.
Yeah, man. It's the West is looking stacked. It's looking crazy. Yeah, I just wonder how the play-in's gonna go. I think the play-in will have a massive effect on the rest of the playoffs. Because like
Yeah.
we saw last year with both, I mean that's a true statement. Last year, both conferences, Lakers conference finals, Heat
Mhm.
finals. You know, like that's
Yeah.
from the play-in.
No one saw that coming.
Yeah, that's a real deal. I think that's why they put it in. You know, I think that's why they added that.
Mhm.
So
You
crazy
just
stuff,
give
man.
them that chance.
Yeah, but well, thanks for coming on, being a Phoenix Suns specialist, analyst. You know, pipe dream. No. Suns are going to be good. I think the Suns are going to actually do some damage.
I hope so, man. I hope we see y'all in the playoffs again. Those are always good series, no matter the injuries. I mean, no, last year was in 5, but the 2021 series was great. That was a lot of fun.
Oof.
And I don't know. It's always good to get one on your buddy. So
Facts.
right now we have bragging rights, but
I know.
like I said, I think you guys are due. I
Yeah.
think you guys are due.
I just hold that game
But-
one to my heart, like Russ. He pulled over and he was like,
Yeah, right.
"I'd run that."
One thing I will say, hopefully, you know, if we can sneak in past the play-in, right, is that we meet you guys in the first round. That'd be a lot. That'd be a huge
That
series.
would
That'd
be
be a lot of fun.
wild.
And I feel like that'd be a good test for either team. Whoever comes out in that series has a good chance of
Oh
going
yeah.
past the second round. And because I feel like this year too, you guys have one of the better teams that you've had with the Kawhi and PG era.
Yeah.
Ty Lue put it all together.
Yep.
Obviously, he's been dealt bad hands with injuries and all of that. But at the end of the day, as much as injuries affect the game and all that, it's just a part of the game, and you have to have the next man up mentality. They're not going to not play the game because Devin Booker is hurt. They're not going to not play the game because Kawhi's hurt. You know,
Yeah.
it's just next man up.
Gotta
Who's
go.
gonna make it happen? Who's been ready? Who's been paying attention? So the West is tough. It's scary. I hate being a Suns fan. I would die for this team. It's taking years off my life.
Yep.
Put it bluntly.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
homie.
man. That's all I have for you. That's all I have
Yeah.
for the Suns. Good luck to you and your Clippers.
Okay. Appreciate
However
it.
that
homie.
may be,
We just need
but-
prayers. Apparently, James has a
Right.
heart shoulder and Russ has a broken hand for the until the playoffs. So we'll be fine. We'll be fine. We'll be okay.
All right, brother.